Hey, everybody, everybody. Oh, my. Ooh-wee. I got I got a sister that's gonna come on and she gonna tell it to you the way she know it because she lived it and she's living it right now. She's fighting for the civil rights of some strangers. Isn't
Yes.
that crazy? It's kind of crazy because you think, man, I'm putting my life on the line for some strangers, some people that maybe in some instances won't appreciate what I'm doing. That's kind of fandom, but there are people who like that because they know it's for the good of the, as I like to say, the good of the hood. So you are on Strong Inspirations. My name is Anthony Brogdon. I'm a guy just trying to tell a story, and really, I just kind of make the story be told because I find the people who tell it, not me. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notifications button so that you get like a little bing every now and then because I put up new videos 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 a week. It's that much content out there. And I'm now finding these people who got these incredible stories. So come on and do it. Also, I invite you to watch my movie. It's called Business in the Black, The Rise of Black Business in America. I talk about how slaves went to college, black millionaires in the 1800s and the 1900s, ending at
I
1960.
need
I
that.
talk
Yeah.
about what racists did to destroy black business districts, all the ways slaves got their freedom. And I interviewed a number of people whose family owned a business in the 1900s, early 1900s. And then I complement it with this book called Black Business Book, which have over 200 facts.
Very good.
And both of them are available on Amazon, or you go to my website, inspirationsbystrong.com. Strong is my word. I've been saying strong a long time, and it's not my last name and not my middle name. It's a word that I like. So come on and check me out. Oh, come on, let's get started on this interview. This sister's ready. She's sitting there, she's smiling. She's saying, I got something to tell you, folks. Sister, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let's go with it.
Yes, thank you for having me on. And I am honored. My name is Dorothea Crosby, and I am the president here in Metro Birmingham, Alabama, of the NAACP. I have a mother of two daughters, and I have six grandkids. And I'm doing this for their legacy and as well as their grandkids and their grandkids. Kids. So, and all of the children that I come encounter with, we want to start teaching the history, and that's one thing we lack in the community, even here in Birmingham, in which civil rights was founded.
Yes.
And I took on this position in 2018 in December of the 3rd, and I'm going into the second term. I was voted back in November of last year. So we've done a lot. And just with those 2 years out of the state of Alabama, I did win the President's Award.
Why you like civil rights? I mean, you
I,
can do something else that could be a little more comfortable for you, but you spending time running up down the highway using your own gas money for civil
yeah,
rights.
it's
Why you
a
like that?
volunteer position. I do not get paid. So you have to have passion for this type of work and believe in the mission, because I truly believe in the mission of the NAACP. And we're 112 years old today. So we are celebrating 112 years in existence. So
Yes.
it started in
Can, can, can,
1909.
can you tell us a little bit of, from what you know, how the NAACP started?
Yes, W.E.D. Du Bois. Now, he was one of the founders, the known founders of the NAACP, and to try to pull this all together, there was Mary White Ovington. She was a Jewish, because the Jews, they were a part of this coming to existence. And Oswald Garrison Villard and Lillian Wald, William English Walling, and you have Henry Moskowitz, Ida B. Wells Barnett, and Miss Mary Church Terrell.
Okay.
Those were the founders.
Yes. Now
And
let
you
me
all,
ask you. So from what you can gather, let's say an issue happens somewhere in Birmingham, a racial issue. They call the police, and then they call the NACP
yes,
in
and
many
what
instances.
we want facts, because a lot of things in which I have ties with the district attorney as well as a sheriff here, and I have a good relationship with them to find out facts. Because if you go out running, you have to plan before you start jumping out there, because you'll get caught up in something that you shouldn't. So we have to make sure that we are in our lane and make sure that, and a lot of things like protests and things like that, which has to come from our national. Derek Johnson, our great president of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, for all colors, not only Black. So I try to make that clear when I do speak, because this is not just for one color.
Yes.
And, because we do have international, we have branches all over. We're a branch.
Yeah.
Different if different ones in the different cities, they have we're called branches
Yeah.
of the NAACP.
So now, like I say, you have instances where the people call you and said, hey, they did something unjust.
And I go
You kind of
research.
investigate it.
I
Way.
investigate, and then if they're not facts, and you telling me this, that's because I've worked in the courthouse, so I know how some things go within the courts, and I know how they will come tell their story. But hey, let's get the whole story.
Yeah.
So, and I said, now I'm not going to come out on the limb and put myself out there and be, on TV doing something that I shouldn't have in business doing when you're in the wrong.
The NAACP has been doing it, like you said, since 1903. And
1909.
I'm sorry?
1909.
1909. And so I would think that the chapter in Birmingham has seen its highs and lows in terms of this racial stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And y'all had to be at the forefront, right?
But you got to have people to stand with you. And that's one thing that we that's why I said teaching the history of the NAACP.
Sure.
When you tell people that people fought and died for you to have the right to vote, and you don't vote, and you don't want to register to vote and say your vote doesn't matter. Yes, you do. I said, just give it a try.
24 hours or something like that, to some extent. That
yes. Mm-hmm. I can, if they call me, and I'm, my phone is, I give my personal number out. I don't use the office number because, but I'm just a one man, running around, because a lot of people do work that are within the branch. And I do have a lot of millennials.
Yes.
But they're not able to just get out and run like I do.
Yeah.
So I try to make myself available.
Do you ever get where you're tired of hearing all these stories of injustice? Does that, what I mean? At the end of the day, it's like I've been hearing it all day long.
But it's a fact. Those are facts. And just that's what I told you, just within the last year will let us know. It was so brought to the forefront of everybody. And if you don't feel it and you don't see it and you don't want to act on it, there's a problem there. But we have to kind of dig into our history.
Yeah. Let me ask you
know who we are.
Let me ask you this. What's your take on because the founding of the NAACP, there were some, as you said, white, Jewish people that were very active in that. And we see that throughout, the history, even through going back to slavery. It actually took some white people to have the consciousness to say that this is not right.
Correct.
Either, from their Christian values or otherwise.
That's true.
How do you embrace their involvement? And
I embrace it because, the Jews, just think about how they've been treated, even when they came here to America. But without them, the NAACP probably never would have formed because they had the funding to help get it started.
Oh man.
You know, because blacks did not have the money, but
Yeah.
they had the will because of lynching. That was the main cause of how this really got started from lynching. You know, they were tired, we were tired. You know, somebody had to stand.
Let me
But
ask you this. So now you grew up there in Alabama and I guess in Birmingham. You've seen as a young child some racial stuff. What have you seen
okay,
happen?
I was brought up in Inslee, Inslee projects, you know, and it was predominantly white, and you know, blacks were lived in the projects there, and some of them had homes, but it was interracial, you know, just you know, but people, you know, and you saw it then, and we went to school with whites, and but you still knew that it was something different. And just being raised up in my church at New Pilgrim Baptist Church here with Dr. N.H. Smith, who was my pastor. He's passed away, but he was strong in the movement in civil rights. When
Yes.
Dr. Martin Luther King, when he came to town, they met at different churches. And my grandmother, she was there. She was one of the watch people, but she was the foot soldier. She was a foot soldier.
Yes.
And this book right here, it tells you about the Black workers' struggle for equality in Birmingham.
Yes.
Now, she is in this book to tell her story, but she passed in '08. But just them, they taught us, they sat us down. You know, baby, no, this is, you got to, it's a certain way you know, I used to work for white people. I used to have to clean their floors, cook their foods, take care of their kids, and I got kids at home. And I asked for 2 days, I mean, to at least go to church, at least be off one Sunday, 1 to 2 Sundays. And the wife went and told the husband, and he said, Maddie, my wife told me what you asked, but no, I'm not going to be able to let you off. That was the last day he saw her.
Oh my God. Beautiful stuff.
That was the last day he saw my grandmother because she said, there is no way that I'm going to continue to miss church and, you know, and what they had been going through in the
Yeah.
movement during that time, you know, walking with Dr. Martin Luther King, you know, meeting, they were coming up, they were planners. And that's what I tell you, you have to plan
Yeah.
before you execute. So that's what they had to do is hide just to meet. You
Yeah.
know, Abraham Woods, you know, just a lot of them about Shuttlesworth. You
Yes.
know, there was a
Let,
lot of them involved in that book.
let me ask you this question. Kate. Have you ever had a white friend when you were growing up?
Um,
Did you associate with white people?
I did
Did you go to
associate.
the prom with white people? Did y'all have the same prom and that kind of thing?
Well, now when I graduated from high school, I went to a black high school, Age Parker High School, and so no, I didn't experience it. I know I have nieces and nephews where they have gone to these schools and they've interacted. And I try to tell them, do not forget this, what color you are now.
Right.
Because, you know, we've seen it come to surface where the kids, even in Hoover, we one guy, they all of them was after school, they were partying, oh, they were drinking, getting high, whatever, just some white kids. And one of the white boys, he had his camera on. They was calling us niggers, and these were, they thought those were their best friends. I said, if what it is in them, it'll come out. I said, but they didn't learn that on their own. This is being taught in the home or talked about in their home.
Yeah.
So eventually it's gonna come up and out. And at this time, what we're going through, I just, you know, I'm strictly about God's business and the NAACP. I told them if I can, if you're not gonna come with me, I'm gonna walk through you. I'll go around you.
There
You know,
you go. There you go.
you know, that's just the way I feel about it. And I'm strong. And I have my grandkids with me. The 3 oldest ones I usually keep with me a lot. But
There you
they're
go.
out there working with me, even on campaigns, everything
Yeah.
else, they're there. So, you
Now,
know, they are members of the NAACP. I want them brought up and to learn their
do
history.
you think racism will ever go away?
No.
I don't either.
Um, they, it's going to be talked, and you just see about what those militia groups and all of those.
Yeah.
These people
Yeah.
are deep into racism. They don't like blacks. Anybody of color, they do not like.
Yeah.
So we better open our eyes.
Wait, you were around when you all elected your first black mayor.
Yeah, yes, Dr. Arrington.
Yeah. Now, how did that?
Yes,
Do you remember? Or were you old enough to remember how that kind of came about? That they had a black mayor in Birmingham.
they planned, and he was strong. He came with a vision, and he had a coalition. And everybody that was in that coalition, and everybody did exactly how they worked together. That's how Dr. Arrington was able to get us to work together, and how he was elected, and he held that office until he didn't want it anymore.
Now, because he had to have some white votes too, didn't he? Because it's not.
Oh, definitely, he had them. Now, he had to have, because you got to have the players in the room too, and with the money too. So, this man with this much power, yeah, hey, somebody's got to come on board. And so a lot of things happened within that time that I saw, people getting killed and
Oh, really?
calling it accidents, Yeah, it's the stories don't, I didn't like it, and then it's just some things that I know was intentionally done, to some blacks that went through
Yeah.
some of those things.
Did
So
you when you grow up in Birmingham, do you ever think I want to get away from this and move up north, maybe where it's a little more comfortable?
no, I'm comfortable in my skin, and I love Birmingham. I've never been anywhere where I would want to move outside of this where I live now. I love Birmingham.
Oh.
Wake up, people.
Because I saw the KKK when it wasn't but three of them, but when I was living in Atlanta, they did a march, and I just went because I was curious.
Right, and you should be. And because if they're that bold to show themselves, even now, and just like George Floyd, what you think?
Yeah.
Who do you think that was?
Yeah. Are there parts in Alabama, and we're coming to a close shortly? Are there parts in Alabama where not to go as a black person? Is it still so?
No,
Has all that kind of cleared up?
yeah, that's cleared up. We're because it's so much interracial, you know, happening right now, families. So you're always going to see that. So it's open up. It's not nothing really secluded. I don't know anywhere no black person cannot go.
Yeah, because as a northern guy, I'm like, man, I drove to Birmingham from Atlanta, and when I was driving, you better believe I did the speed limit. If the speed limit on the highway said 55, I did 50. I didn't want them pulling me over.
Yeah, because we just don't ever know. And then it is a such thing as black, as they say, you're being profiled. Black men are profiled.
Yeah.
That's why I tell them, and don't let you see two or three in a car together. You definitely getting pulled over.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and then we try to teach, and that's one thing the NAACP does try to teach them when you are stopped, what to do and how to behave. And if you've done all you're supposed to do, you should be okay. But we pray that happens. Some instances, I know it does not happen.
I've interviewed a couple of people so far from Alabama, or just in general.
Yes.
And there's been some black people that have been, for a lack of a better word, snitches.
Yeah.
There have been some black people who don't buy into helping other black people. There have been black people, and people have said to me that sometimes they're your hardest person to win over to do good, and they fight you. What has been your take? I'm not saying name no names or nothing like that, but what's been your take on working with other black people?
That is true, because we're so easily bought. And I told them, greed will always be your downfall. Because I told them, yeah, I thank God that I don't really stick, really have to just, I guess, I don't think I ever wanted to be, probably say I wanted to be a millionaire, but I want to help somebody else with the millions, because I said I'm happy in my life with what God has blessed me with. But I've seen it even in 18 when we had we've got our first Black district attorney and our first Black sheriff. And I have seen some Democrats working for Republicans. And you got a Democrat that's trying to win this seat. So it's all about money. And it's a sad thing. And I don't agree with it because I truly have to believe in the person and who I'm working with, and I stand on that. But if I don't, I stay out of it. I stay out of it.
What would you like to say, after you, and I'm not going to say dead and gone, but for lack of a better word, let's say you're out of the office of the NAACP. What would you like to say has been would be your big accomplishment? If you could point one thing that could be that accomplishment that moved the bar better for Black people, what could that do?
Voting, getting these kids registered to vote. Because I said when I was in high school, 18, when we was a seniors, we registered. And that should be part of your history or government. They should have that in our schools. They don't even teach our history in our schools. The people that don't look like us, we have a civil rights district. I pass by there so much and I don't see us. I see them. They know our history better than we do. And wow. That's sad.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, well, they used to take you on school trips. 16th Street Baptist Church is in that district. I said, people that live in Birmingham, some of them have never stepped in that church. And I told them that's sad. And they have a museum where the girls
yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I want to start the schools. That's one of my goals, to get the schools to start back taking them to these sites.
Yes.
And taking them, have a tour guide to teach them, to go in the museum. Yeah. It's not a lot of money that we have to do, but that should be one of their trips for, it doesn't, I don't, yeah, because we're 365
yeah.
Black history, okay?
Yeah, sure.
We're not going to stop that because I'm history. I'm the first female woman that has had this office in the Birmingham.
Sure.
So, I tell my grandkids, I say, your grandmother is history. I said, so,
Yeah, I said, you're a warrior. Let me ask you, have you ever had a white guy apologize for something that they've done?
I did.
Wow, how did that go?
It went well. We was the tornado we had that was on the 25th of January. That was in Fultondale. And there was on one life lost in that, but if you go through that area, it was horrible. I've been working over there, taking up donations, taking gift cards, just doing a lot, just trying to help them out. And this white guy, he said, I went to Woodlawn High School, and it used to be predominantly Black because I live in this area, which that school is in. And he said, but my dad died, and I saw where they had the 3 little girls buried at. And he said, and I went to their grave, and I cried, and I apologized, for what my people have done. And this was just about 2 weeks ago. And I said, I appreciate that. He said, I really did. He said, I humbly, and he said, I know it wasn't right. He said, and I don't uphold it. But he said, I'm sorry.
Wow, that had to be.
That was one of those. It was a wow moment.
I'm sure. Is there a question that I have not asked you? Something that comes to mind that you wanted to say?
Oh, I know you, this great guy here. You did. I was there to buy his book on yesterday, so I know you did. Talk
Yep,
to
yep, yep.
Dr. Jesse Lewis.
Yeah,
I hold him high. He's 96 years old and
yeah,
still going. And so I'm very proud of his. That's why I said I want people to start writing these books like this before
yeah,
they leave this earth
yeah,
to let us know our history. Yeah, because I like to read,
yeah.
and we one of the sisters of the little girls, she has written a book now too. So
Okay.
I'm gonna try to fit you her, and I might need to get you in touch with her so you can talk to
Oh
her.
yeah, please. Are you?
Yeah,
I guess if they keep coming in. One more question. Are you proud of yourself?
I am. I am. Where
You
I am
wake up. You go to bed saying, "I did. I made a difference today."
is I try to make a difference every day, and I ask the Lord to just let me make a difference in somebody's life. Because I told him, if you need, you call me. I'm coming. I am coming, and I will take you shopping. If you say you need it, okay, okay, I'm gonna take you to get it. Because I want to make sure that I can't judge. I don't try to judge people as much, and I guess growing up in the black neighborhoods, when you got people that's trying to get over and stuff like that. But I told them, when I do it from the heart, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I said, then they hard got to deal with the rest of it.
That's
So,
right.
and I keep it moving. So,
Ah,
I try to go with a smile. I wake up with a smile. I get up very early, sometimes 3 o'clock. If I might get 2 or 3 hours, but it ain't long. But I get up early because I have to meditate, and get
yes,
myself ready for what is coming today.
yes,
I have this program tomorrow that we're putting on, and I'm chairing that program for the state conference of Alabama.
yes,
And I'm very excited about it.
yes. You're gonna
Because
do well. You'll do well. I'm sure.
yeah, it's gonna be a nice. I hate we're still doing things on
Yeah,
Zooms, but
virtual and stuff. Yeah,
yeah, and but
yeah,
it's gonna be nice. I think we have set up nice, so
yeah.
I
Yeah,
wish.
yeah, I'm sure it will be. Everybody, sometimes on the channel, I just want to let you know how some black people feel being a part of this, giving of their lives. And I go back to this one point, to a stranger, to somebody they don't know. This sister says she'll give up and help you get some groceries out of her pocket to a
Yeah,
stranger. So
mhm,
it's all of that's really what the Black history has done over the years. So
yeah.
I thank you so very much for being on Strong Inspirations.
I thank you
I
for
say, please, you stay strong, you stay safe, you
having.
stay on your grind,
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
stay beautiful doing what you're doing. Everybody, go ahead, hit that subscribe button right now. Hit the like button on this video. Hit the notifications button. Tell somebody about Strong Inspirations. If
I'm gonna
you
get
would like,
that video.
yeah,
Because
watch my video, read my book. We
yeah,
coming at you. I thank you so very much for being on Strong Inspirations. God bless you.
thank you so
Sure.
much.
Stay safe.
Yes,
Everybody, we out. Thank you so very much. Bye bye.
thank you. Bye bye.